Good afternoon, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, Generation Next, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ajay Dixit. I'll be talking about the spill response, effective oil spill response for a blue economy and clean ocean governance. So what is blue economy? It consists of, as per the World Bank definition, blue economy refers to sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihood, ocean blue ecosystem health. Blue economy mainly includes activities related to renewable energy, fisheries, marine transport, tourism, and waste management. That's all in your front of your eyes. Economic effects of oil spill on blue economy. As we all know, ONGC, I belong to ONGC, being in E&P business, if you encounter any oil spill, as BP had in Macondo, you will have, as Mr. Tyagi, Captain Tyagi said, that many companies got wiped out. So, the most affected industries due to marine oil spill are tourism and fisheries. These are the most affected ones. Other industries which may be affected are industries depending on seawater for operation, shipyards, ports, harbors, offshore and wind industry. Well, the ecological effects of oil spill, we all know that spill oil impacts the surface animals as well as the marine life beneath the surface. Due to the lack of oxygen, this marine life gets affected very much, and this marine life is responsible for the oxygen we breathe. And if we allow to die this marine life through these oil spill and other pollution, you and me will not be breathing the oxygen which we require at a certain percentage. Is that a revelation? My friend Rajiv Kumar from Environmental, he will explain it later on. Well, these internal and external exposure to the marine life adversely affect the beach ecology, ecological damage due to cleaning of beaches, generation of hazardous waste, public outcry, compensation, media management, and whatnot. Well, if we talk about the biggest oil spill in the oil industry, that has already been discussed by Captain Tyagi, that is 20th April 2010, Gulf of Mexico explosion and sinking of Deepwater Horizon. And it affected almost 1,000 plus miles of coastline, 4.9 million barrels of oil, more than 4 months, and it costed BP around $65 billion. Where do we stand now? These are the data, that oil spill data. So as you see, the graph is going down. So as a whole, we have improved very much from 90s or 70s to 2000 or 2020s, that due to the better tools available for oil spill response management, we are able to reduce oil spill to a great extent. But the danger lurks on with the activities. I'll deliberate it further. Look at the threat around Indian coastline. What do you see here? Well, these are the tanker routes. I'm not talking about, as of now, the E&P activities which offshore operators take on western or eastern offshore. These are the tanker routes. As of now, India's crude oil imports are about 190 million ton, and it is expected to rise by 364 million ton from 196 by 24-25. Apart from that, our own imports, the tankers routing from Gulf going to East Asia will be traveling through Indian waters, and that poses a great threat to our Indian waters in oil spill. Well, this has been already discussed by Mr. Tyagi that the International Framework of Oil Pollution is, that is OPRC. It was ratified by India in 1997. National Framework of Oil Pollution. The plan demands that agencies to maintain resources for Tier 1 level of oil spill comprising of an oil spill contingency plan, Tier 1 oil spill response equipment, and trained manpower. Many of the operators is having it, ONGC is having since ages. And this is the tiered response in case of an oil spill. First of all, if I talk about ONGC, Tier 1 is own capability, that we have our own facilities on our MSVs, which takes care of something like 10,510 of oil spill, metric ton of oil spill, we take care of on our own. National capability, already discussed that it is the support from ICG, Indian Coast Guards, and mutual aid partners. International capability, we have a tie-up. ONGC is the only company in India which is having a tie-up with OSRL UK, which has a great potential and resources to handle the Tier 3 oil spill. And they are available at UK and Singapore near to us. Now the responses required, responses strategies for oil spill. First of all, you need to monitor and evaluate how to contain and recover. Recovery is very difficult to achieve because response time is very crucial for an oil spill. First 24 hours, 48 hours, if you delay that, then you will not be able to diffuse this oil spill. So, you know, the challenge is mammoth. Then, logistical support, recovery of oil storage, dispersant spraying. So, all these facilities require a thorough planning and a foolproof contingency plan to manage oil spill. To discuss further, this is ONGC's oil spill response resources, which is divided into part 1, that is strategy, that is what are you going to do if it happens, what resources you have, action and operation, how you are going to do it, that is initial procedure, operation planning, control of operation, termination of operation, then what have you got to help, what resources you have, how you have planned for it. We need to continue with drills and drills an year, that you need to continue and maintain the mock drills frequency so that whenever the crisis strikes, you are able to handle it in a better way. So, this is one of the modeling ONGC has done, that in case of a major oil spill in Western Offshore during monsoon time in July, where will the oil go? And the scenario was an oil spill of about 1,500 cubic meter, and the results showed that it will take about 3.5 days to reach a coast near Daman, you see. This is our oil spill resources. We have booms to collect the oil, to stop the oil for further spillage, inflatable tanks, inbuilt storage, skimmers, dispersant, oil spill dispersant, and the vessels. Vessels I'll be discussing later on. These are the vessels on board. ONGC is having the biggest oil spill facilities available with them because we are the national E&P company, and Western Offshore produces about 50 to 60% of oil of India. So MSV Samudra Sevak is there, Samudra Prabha, Helant, and There are 10 vessels dedicated for these services. Apart from peacetime, they also do the other jobs. Now, this oil spill response resources, you see a very critical map of Bombay around Jawahar Dweep Island, where there is our oil spill facilities are based. You see, there is Uran plant, there is ONGC Nawa, there is BPCL, there is IOC, there is HPCL. Anything happens here will be disastrous for the country. And we need to be prepared for that. So Tier 1 oil spill response preparedness, regular mock drill, internal and external with your own, external with Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard, participation in national and regional level exercises, NATPORs by Indian ICG, and training to ONGC personnel, annual returns to the Coast Guards. This is ICG's response center, Mumbai, Chennai, Port Blair, Kochi, Vadinar, and they have the well-stocked inventory to handle Tier 2 oil spill, which certain operators are not able to contain. Then ICG comes into the picture, along with Indian Navy and the respective companies. And the Tier 3, if there is a Mokendo-like scenario in India, that is uncontrolled flow of hydrocarbon in the sea, then we have a MOU and tie-up with Oil Spill Response Limited UK, which is world's largest oil spill response organization, which is having equipment in UK, Singapore, Bahrain, Fort Lauderdale, USA. And they have, the benefits of this membership are guaranteed and immediate response 24/7, but they are, as I said, they are based at Singapore nearest. So response time will be more than 48 hours. They have this logistic support with their own aircraft. They will be able to do it maybe in 24 hours to 36 hours. They have a specialized oil recovery equipment, well-trained manpower. The point is that why don't India have this Tier 2 and Tier 3 facilities? Because we are susceptible to it. The route, the major oil tanker route passes through the Indian water, and we have major operation in the East Coast and West Coast, along with the refineries in the coastal area. Why don't we have it? Okay, we'll discuss it later, the way forward. Now, ONGC is having in-house capabilities to deal with emergencies, to control blowout and uncontrolled flow of oil and gas, that is our crisis management team, along with the team ONGC. They keep their all well control and blowout control equipment in perfect health to resolve crisis with minimum damages to the people. I belong to that team basically. Now, these are the capabilities. In case we have a subsea blowout, subsea that is beneath the mean sea level, anything between 250, 300 meters to 3,000 meters. How do you control that if something is blowing from the seabed? So there are facilities all over the world which cater from A to Z solution, from oil spill to having the capping stack along with the barges, so that they can single-handedly control these kind of crises. We also need to develop these facilities, and we can outsource these facilities to other companies or other part of the world. Before I conclude, I'll come to the one case study. That is, in G19 in KG offshore. In 2010, there was uncontrolled flow of huge gas, more than 1 lakh cubic meter per day. The reasons are not to be discussed. And in August 2012, it was reported there were seahorses, like a whitish thing, and it was observed there is a big plume of gas coming to the surface. Just a sec. Yeah. No. Where is that video? इसी पे है क्या? Yep. Look at this. This plume of gas is about 1 kilometer radius. And this is the subsea flow below 250 meters. This diameter is 18¾ And you can imagine how much is the gas flow up above the sea level. And no barge can enter because the density is reduced. So ONGC conducted this SIMOPS about 8 vessels along with ROV vessels. Then we use a special technique which I'll explain you with animations. We had about 8 vessels on our hand, and it took almost this. You see, this is the subsea BOP being capped on the blowing well. And this was done by own crisis management team by using modified capping stack, using a surface BOP stack. This is ROV arm, and that is the subsea BOP which stopped the flow of the oil and gas. Again, see the plume. In the background, there is a Rigsagar Vijay, and just see if this is oil, what will happen to Indian economy? Can we stop it? Okay, then we at the crisis management team thought of, okay, we need to do it because you cannot enter with a barge and lower the capping stack because of the threat of plume, gas plume. You may sink in with the reduced buoyancy. You may get into the fire because the gas may catch a fire. So we thought, why don't we do it in an innovative way, making a capping stack, that is the blowout preventer on top of that 18¾ mandrel, and lower it with the help of 2 boats, OSVs or MSVs. So I'll just show through animation how it was done with our own capabilities. So this is the capping stack which was lowered into the water. Then through the winch of one of the vessel, OSV Vimla, we connected with this subsea cap, subsea BOP stack. Then the vessel which lowered the BOP is Samudra Sevak, ONGC's own vessel. Then the another boat, MSV Vidya, came and then got connected with the BOP through the help of crane, of course. Then that's how we did it. We centered the BOP stack. And then 2 vessels about 2 kilometers apart lowered this capping stack in this plume and controlled this well successfully. This was the most innovative idea nowhere as anybody has done in the world. So these are the challenges at E&P industry we face. And in case such kind of a blowout happens in an oil field, this was a gas field, pure gas field. So imagine that we may have a worse than Macando. This was our Macando, but fortunately it was gas. Your battery is running low. Mine is okay, yeah. So look at the world scenario that oil spill response facility world over. Everywhere there is a facility to cater for oil spill, to handle tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. All the countries are self-sufficient, but there is none around India. Because we have still not met with an oil spill, major oil spill. So what we are waiting for? So better to prepare beforehand before anything adverse happen to us. Way forward. That is to reduce dependency on International Oil Spill Response Organization. And as I said, issues with the international OSRS, delay in response due to location of response base, which is outside India. In our case, it's Singapore. Cumbersome custom clearances processes, logistic support from port, airport to the affected area, security clearances of foreign responders. Collective efforts are required to develop Tier 2, Tier 3 oil spill response organization at strategic location within India for quick and effective oil spill response. And finally, the emphasis on the area capability instead of organizational capability in case of Tier 1 oil spill response. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Thanks.